Jack's Tool Reviews. My name's Jack, and I got for you today another one from the RYOBI series, the 1 Plus HP 18 volt. This is their angle grinder. Comes with the items you see here, including the auxiliary handle. This is one grinding wheel, comes with it. A guard to protect you, just kind of snap it right on, rotate it as you need. There's a little spring lever here in the back to help you choose the angle that you need to protect yourself from sparks or what have you. It's a 4.5-inch tools only, and it's got a 5/8-inch arbor size. It's very similar to the Milwaukee series in that this guy here, if you saw me flip it up, if you really need to tighten down, generally it's advertised as toolless, but you'll see that you do have the space for a pin wrench. Really it would be for if you're trying to remove, let's say you got your wheel really stuck on there, well, you can use this to break her free. So it does come with the pin wrench, and it comes with a cutoff wheel. Very much like the Milwaukee, it's got this paddle switch. So good for safety. You're not really going to have too much accidental activation. You see me pushing here. Swish it down. So if you're wearing heavy-duty gloves, what have you, you can engage it. As with all the other tools in this series, serial number right on these stickers here. If you bring it online, there's a 3-year warranty for actually everything, including the handles, the grinding wheel, the cutoff wheel, the guards, everything that you see here. So what do I like about it? In my observations, I've seen that this tool does cut out. There's a couple of things with that. One is that it does have a tendency to cut out when it overheats. So if you're going to have a continuous job where you're grinding and grinding, you may wish to go with a plugged-in angle grinder as opposed to a battery-powered. Also, the batteries that I had were a 2 amp hour and a 4 amp hour. These did not come with it, but I did notice that there was actually a surprising performance difference. If you used the 2 amp hour, it cut out very quickly. At 4 amp hours, it performed better. I imagine that if you went up to a 6 and so on, you'd find that you'll have a less frustrating experience with your tool. Other aspects that I should mention, if you look closely, it's a nice rubberized, textured grip here on the handle. There's a couple of other positions. So for your ergonomics, what you like best, haven't seen too often a thread on the top. So that's nice. It's a die-cast body, as you can tell. And for batteries in the bottom, you can see that there's a 2-pin contact. So as with other batteries, you want to just keep in mind that if you have that's only for one contact, it's not going to perform as well. So try to use the genuine batteries that come with it, or at least monitor to make sure that there's 2 contacts. Okay, so I now have a 4 amp hour battery installed. Just want to point out one other thing. When I mentioned that this is supposed to be a toolless, let's just keep in mind, actually, safety. Let's just keep in mind that you need to be pressing this guy in the back, so that way you can tighten her down real good. If you don't, you hear how it just spins free. If you do leave it go without pressing that in the back, you can actually have this nut back right out at you and have the disc fly. Not a good situation. So, here we go. So I'm just checking now to see, is this still nice and tight? Yeah. Pretty good. So if you do lose your pin wrench, it's nice to be able to do the no tools required way of tightening that in place. I would say that if you compare it to some of the other higher end brands, it is worth noting that that doesn't appear to have a break. Your tool did not just stop right when I released the handle, right? I would point out that, again, with those cutout issues, this might not be for pros. This would be a great tool for a homeowner, maybe for somebody who just would not be good for continuous work, maybe good for rounding off burrs on machined metal, what have you. So the tool does have 92,000 RPM. It does not claim much on the website about other specs, which does lead you to have difficulty in comparing it to the other top brands. However, with that said, some of the things that do make this a higher end tool is the brushless motor. The brushless motors in general mean less maintenance, more efficient. Your tool is not heating up, and I have a little visual in the tool in the video here, just showing that the brushless motors with its magnets as opposed to the brush kind of explains how it would reduce the chance of overheating. The lithium-ion batteries that it uses, those have a higher charge density, making it for a lightweight tool. They can go for hundreds of charges without becoming dead, and certainly that's nice to not be buying more batteries. So you do have a higher-end tool for at least those two reasons, not to mention that it does have smart controls inside. If you were to run this to the point where it would overheat and it cuts out on you, that's because it's got a built-in temperature regulation. That's a good thing. So that way when you let your tool cool down, it will come right back up. It's not going to be just permanently fried. So that's what I have for you today. I recommend the tool. I'm not sure that I'd recommend this one in the workplace. Got the higher end aspects to it, but I don't like the fact that it would cut out on me if I'm trying to get my job done fast. If you go with the corded variety, you might be a little happier for those continuous jobs. And don't forget about getting a larger battery size in the event that you don't want these other cutout issues. Okay? So thanks for watching. Take care. Surprise little bonus content. All right. Here I got a real do-it-yourselfer level angle grinder. This is a skill, for example. Just want to point out the lack of any ergonomic shape. Sorry. So my point here that I'm going to get to is to say that even though I'm saying this might not be for pros, it still has features that get it so much closer. It's like it's right there, right? Compare it to a low-end do-it-yourselfer tool where you have this chunky body. You just have the on-off switch here. You don't have like the paddle switch. So if you have these big bulky gloves, you're going to really enjoy getting to that and holding it up there and everything else. You got this plasticky handle. You only have the two positions. You don't have the top. So depending on what you're doing, you get a little bit of better ergonomics. It's weighty. It does require the pin wrench as opposed to the toolless version. It's just it's nicer. So again, thanks for watching. Take care.